Hi guys, Helga from Helga's Pennsylvania Cooking, and today I'm going to make a really easy, yummy treat, beer bread. It's one of those things that when parties come up, I'm asked to bring along, and it's a sweet but savory bread, and I always usually serve it with a dip, kind of like a cucumber dill dip, which is refreshing with the richness of the bread. This is really simple to make. Yeah, you use beer in it. I'm going to use my favorite local old PA brew, oldest brewery in the country, Yuengling. It's the best stuff. We'll get this made and pop her in the oven, and you'll see how easy it is. And you have to try it for yourself. It really is a yummy treat. Okay, we're going to start out with 3 cups all-purpose flour, and we're sifting it. And you sift your flour so that it doesn't compress. If you don't sift it, you know, it compresses, and then your baked goods, your breads and stuff end up kind of like a rock. you need to sift it and fluff it. That'll help it to rise more, because it's not compressed and like a brick. So that's the first thing. Then I got 3 teaspoons of baking powder, teaspoon of salt, and that's for all-purpose flour. If you're using self-rising flour, you don't use salt. And 1/4 cup of sugar, and the beer. Okay, so let's talk about the beer. This is obviously our local, and it's the best. I'm not prejudiced, it just is. Yuengling is America's oldest brewery. It's not far from me, and we love their lager. And anybody around here who drinks Yuengling normally just says yin yang. Now, when you're making beer bread, you want a whole beer. And when I say a whole beer, I mean not a light beer. Not like Coors Light or Bud Light or any of that stuff, because it doesn't have enough body to work in your bread properly, okay? And besides, it's not really beer. But that's just another subject. Anyhow, now I also have people ask me if they can substitute something else non-alcoholic besides beer. You can. However, you need to add a small packet of dry yeast if you do that, because the yeast in this is what helps activate the baking powder and makes it rise. So you're gonna get a lump of nothing if you don't have that. It'll just be very dense and heavy and wet, and might still taste okay, but it's not going to look very nice and not as nice to eat. And as you can see, this just works right up into it's a wet dough. And I'm going to get this mixed around, and then we're going to put this in a greased loaf pan, and we're going to bake her for about an hour, and then I'm going to make my dip for it. I mean, I'm telling you, this is so simple, but everybody always likes it. I'm just going to spray my loaf pan with non-stick cooking spray. And I'm just going to dump this right in there. Now, the other component we're going to add here is 1/2 to 1/4 cup of butter across the top. That gives it a really nice golden brown look and a nice crunchy exterior texture to go with the inside. And it calls for 1/4 to 1/2, but I think 1/4 is plenty, as you can see there. Alright, so that's what it looks like, and I'm going to pop her in the oven for about an hour. The dip I'm using is like 8 to 10 ounces of sour cream, And then I have a cucumber dill dip mix. I actually get this from the Mennonite market in bulk, and basically it's onion and sea salt and garlic salt and dill weed and parsley. When I have fresh dill here in the summertime, I actually try and make this just from scratch. But in the meantime, the dill mix comes in real handy, and it's not expensive, and it tastes really good. And this is refreshing with the richness of the bread. So I mean, you can serve any kind of dip you want. Some people will do ranch or whatever, but I really like the cucumber dill. Really light and fresh. Pretty yummy. And that's all there is to it. So we'll come back once bread's all baked and out of the oven, and we'll give her a try. Okay guys, she should be done. Oh wow, baby. Look at this. Look at that goodness. I'm going to do the toothpick test here just to make sure she's done. She's done. It's not goopy on the inside at all. You can see this a little bit better. It's up to you guys if you want to add a little bit more butter across the top to get the nooks and crannies, you can. Like I said, it's up to you if you want to add a little bit more here, just a drizzle over the nooks and crannies. Oh baby. Yeah, just like this. And that's it. I'm going to let this cool, and when it cools a bit, I'll turn it out and slice her up, and we'll give her a try with the dip. My bread is cool. I'm going to just turn her out. See, she pops right out of the pan, and slice her up. I gotta slice her up for the plate anyway that I'm going to put her on. So, oh, look at that nice crust. Oh yeah. Let's see here. Get a nice piece. You can really see it. So, there you can see what it's a nice soft bread, savory, and you can see the nice crust on it, crunchy crust. It's nice. Alright, I'm going to finish slicing this up, and then we're going to give it a taste. So here it is, all done up for a plate. As you can see, one loaf does a nice plate to take, and we'll put her together here and give her a taste test. So here's how it came out. You can see the nice beer bread. I like doing them in just finger slices like this for the dip. It makes a nice appetizer. And this is the cucumber dill dip. Makes it really nice and cool and fresh. We'll try a little bit. Just look at this goodness, and look at the nice golden crust on it. And like I said, you can do other variations of this. I do a cheesy salsa beer bread that's really good. If you're interested in more of the variations, I'll share the recipes with you. But I'm going to put some dip on here, just like this. That's so yummy. It's not something I make all the time, but it is really yummy and fun to take to all kinds of events and parties. This is a great thing to take to potlucks, parties, family get-togethers. You know, a little bit goes a long way, and it's always a crowd pleaser. So, that's beer bread made with PA good beer, Yuengling. If you like this vid and like what you saw, I hope you like and subscribe. And join me next time here in Helga's Pennsylvania Cooking.